Hey guys, it's Chris
And Josh here.
with the Brothers Boyd. We got another video for you today, and this one's kind of a little bit different than normal, but we've done one before. We actually went on a road trip yesterday, a couple of hours down the road from our house to Wilmington, North Carolina, and checked out some comic book shops there. So join us as we kind of show you where we visited, and it'll give you some idea if you're ever in the area, if you want to go check these shops out or not. Okay, so our first stop was at Buried Under Comics and Toys. This is a fairly new store. The owner's name is Jim, and he's been going for just a few months. He's opened up, and this is us kind of walking in. And I think the thing that really caught my attention the most, and you'll see it here in a minute, is this was a shop with the most elaborate wall of key comics I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Josh, what did you think about the shop?
Yeah, it had a lot of great stuff in there. A lot of back issues. The wall with all the key comics were great. Not so much the new issues, but he had a lot of collectibles. A lot, like I said, dozens of back issues. I think my favorite part, which you'll see towards the end, is I found the boxes with the sets in it, and I got quite a few sets out of there that were put together.
Yeah, I'm really loving all the way these shops are starting to put all these sets together. It makes just buying so much fun because sometimes it's hard to find that one issue. You might have four out of a six issue set. It's so cool to be able to buy. And as you can see in this picture as well, there were a lot of collectibles as well, a lot of toys. If you were interested in those, they can grow too. But again, I can't harp enough on the walls, and here it was amazing. And here you see us kind of talking with the owner. Really nice guy. He was showing us some things. He cards as well. One thing I did notice about this shop, if you are the type of person who likes to dig and go through boxes of comics and find those hidden gems, this is the place for you because they have a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah, I would call this shop a hidden gem. There were a lot of great books there. A lot of stuff I'd been looking for a while. In the sets, I actually found a copy of Justice League The Nail. And you guys know from before I'm a big Elseworlds fan, so I bought that set. Oh, and then we got Frogman. How many of you noticed him in the trailer for She-Hulk, in the first trailer they put out?
Oh yeah, we saw him, definitely saw him, and you know I saw it because I'm
Yeah.
all about She-Hulk right now. I'm super excited for that show. If you see this wall right here, there's some pop figures and some older Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. Josh probably had some of those when he was a kid.
Oh, definitely.
And again, of course, you can't have your figures without having like your Michael Myers horror figures, pop figures, just going everywhere. Those things can collect really fast and grow a lot and take up a lot of space, but they seem to be the it thing right now.
Yeah, that was a 8-bit Jason Voorhees I found. It reminded me of the old Friday the 13th video game for the NES.
Yeah, you see right here, I kind of failed. I probably should have picked that up, but it was a Jay and Silent Bob complete series set. I was kind of being tight with my money yesterday, so I didn't pick it up. But I can promise you, if I go back down there again and it's there, I will definitely be picking it up. Here you see me and Josh kind of going through some of the sets and stuff, and I'm kind of getting in his way. There was something I was looking for. I thought it was something else, and he went past it pretty fast. And that handsome guy right there is Sean. He is our graphic artist. He creates all of the graphic art and stuff you see on our channel. He's done a great job for us, and he's a really good friend. And this whole trip was kind of spurred by him because he wanted to go to a board game shop, and it turned into a little bit more than a board game trip.
Yes. Yeah, he is the guy who created our logo. He is the guy that drew our little cartoon selves that you see. And just a little side note on what you saw me looking at there earlier, I pulled up that Mephisto versus the Fantastic Four. That was a shout out to my buddy Eric Voss over on New Rockstars. He cracks me up. His theory has been Mephisto's behind everything in the Marvel Universe.
Mephisto is definitely behind everything. Oh, and also, ladies, Sean is single, so grab him while you can. Yeah, we're still going through. There are some really great sets right there. Josh is going through, and Sean is there just looking at the
Yeah.
camera weirdly because that's what he likes to do. Um, if you see me over there, I actually found like a nearby complete collection of the Alex Ross covers for for the Marvel comics. think it's been a couple of years since those came out, but they're really beautiful covers. Again, I didn't pick any up yesterday. I should have because they were really great. But again, I know where this shop is, so I'll definitely be back. And the owner himself was super nice, very welcoming, and he is actually hosting a Wilmington Geek or Fan Expo this coming Saturday from 10 to 5 at the Elks Lodge in Wilmington. So if you're in the Wilmington area this weekend, you might want to swing by there and check it out. I'm sure it's going to have cards, comics, and whatever else you can get there. And yes, definitely go by his shop as well. Yeah. And that is on August the 6th. Yep. Yes.
Now you'll see going through there, I picked up quite a few things. I passed on that Submariner set, but I'm kind of wishing I'd have picked it up now with the show coming out. I did pick up that Superman Odyssey. It looked really cool. It was a one-shot. Like I said earlier, I got Justice League The Nail, and I think that's all I got from this shop. I picked up quite a few things yesterday in several shops that I was really excited to see that I had not seen anywhere.
Yeah, it was a really cool shop. I really enjoyed that shop, and that's the first one we got to. It kind of set the bar kind of high for the rest of them.
And that Superman Doomsday Wars was one I didn't have, so I went ahead and picked it up.
And that's a lot. That's all we had for this shop, and you'll see Josh with a couple of his pickups right here at the end. And we'll move on over to the next shop we went to in downtown Wilmington. It's a beautiful downtown right on the water. You can kind of see we caught a few images, and this is us walking up the road to the store.
Yeah, if you go to Wilmington, you're going to have to find a spot to park, and they do have parking meters. What you're seeing there beside us, all those empty spaces, were not actually available parking spaces. They were for loading and unloading. So we had to park a little ways down before we could actually get to the shop.
Yeah, and a little exercise never kills you. It can only make you stronger. So, yeah. Pay attention to those traffic rules, guys, too. If you look up there, you see the red hand, you need to wait till it tells you can walk. Safety first. We didn't want the video to end in disaster. But you can see right on the wall there, the Memory Lane comics and toys. This is the outside facade there. You can see Miss Marvel there in the window, and then all these windows. And this shop has been around for 39 years, and it was actually a jail at one time in downtown Wilmington. So it's a really cool fact about it. And here in just a minute, you'll see us going in. They have someone who's a really great artist as well, because they're doing a phenomenal job with that board outside.
Yes. It is a smaller shop, but they make use of every single inch of the store. They carry the newer comics. They don't have as many of the back issues because of their size, but they have a very large graphic novel selection from all ages all the way up to any title you might want to read. They have it all over the store. Their pops and collectibles are there. You can see here a lot of things are there, and they make use of every inch that they can in here.
Yeah, they really were stacked on those graphic novels. If they didn't have it, they probably don't make it, or they haven't made it yet. Because, and then if you look over there to our right, you can see the wall of new releases. And one of the things I liked is not only did they have the new releases, but they kept a lot of the past issues back there too. So instead of it just being like this month's issue, you also had like last month's, the month before. If it was still available, it was on the shelf. So if you really needed to catch up with something, they had those issues there that you could grab and get. Down there on the bottom, you see some boxes. They had some $1 comics. You can see me and Josh going through there, and I actually picked up a copy of King in Black #1. It was the Peach Momoko variant, and gave that one to my daughter because I know how much she loves Peach Momoko, and it was a beautiful cover. I don't know if we got a video of it or not, but you can look it up online. Just some more stuff. The statues were pretty amazing in there too, Josh. What did you think of all the collectibles they had in there?
They had a huge assortment of collectibles. They had anything and everything you might want. Marvel, DC, your indie comic stuff.
Comics.
It was very well done.
Yeah, and in that last picture, I don't know if you saw or not, on the top shelf they actually had some Scotty Young figures in there, which I was very interested in. That might be another trip down there in my future to pick up a couple of those. I'm really digging these Batman figures as well. Looking for something to go on my shelf, and their prices were pretty reasonable too for these statues. So if you're into collecting statues and want something nice for a shelf piece, definitely check them out.
Yes.
They also had a lot of, again, Transformers, all kinds of figures, but they also had a lot of buttons, stickers, patches. I picked up a sticker or two because I'm big on my stickers. I like to put them on my water bottles. And they also had another shelf on the other side that was the brand new releases, everything that had come out this week. So that's what you're looking at right now. And you see on the bottom there, I can see that Superman Space Age.
Yeah.
Kind of want to read that one.
Yeah, I picked that one up. I haven't got to it yet, but it's on my stack. I thought these were really cool. The little golden books like we used to grow up with, but now they're DC and Marvel characters. Those are pretty neat looking.
All right, you see me up there digging. I'm looking for, I've got a couple of issues of Justice League Last Ride, and I am trying to find the last 3 that I need. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we're going to be going to a con in Greenville, which we're going to record that too. Hopefully I can find something there and go ahead and get those. The owners at this shop were super nice, very welcoming, and they were letting us film. They were gracious, and we really appreciated that. You saw the Batman stuff there. I could very easily spend a lot of money in this shop on some Batman props. And
oh yeah, we all grew up on Batman the animated series, so having that grapnel gun would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They would make a good background for your videos too.
Yes.
This was a really cool shop. It is downtown Wilmington. It's called Memory Lane Comics, and it is definitely a must-see if you're downtown Wilmington. I know they have cons and stuff down there, but it's just a beautiful city to visit as well. And downtown, you could walk around, get you something to eat, go check out the comic book shops, drink a coffee, and there's a spinner rack right there. And one of these days, I'm going to own one of those, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but that Superman statue was calling my name. That classic look of Clark just tearing the shirt open to become Superman is always an awesome one.
Yeah, that was a great statue. And there was also a Darkseid statue right alongside that. It would make a great piece there on your mantle to have both of them facing off against each other.
Yes.
Again, lots and lots of graphic novels. So if you're in the Wilmington area, check this one out. And actually, this is the first of a second store. So we will show you that one in just a second.
Here we are, guys, heading down the street. Just, cat a corner from Memory Lane is Memory Lane Part 2. That first shop had gotten too small, so they've gone and added a second shop down the street. And where they had all the new comics in Memory Lane 1, Memory Lane 2 was all about the collectibles and the back issues. And this place was a pretty cool place. I could go in there and hang out all day and just talk to the guys. They were really great about things and just talking comics and all that stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of really great collectibles, but there was a lot of other stuff in there too. I mean, boxes and boxes of back issues. Found some more sets. They had some boxes right at the front that I was digging through that were full of nothing but CGC graded comics, and love those CGC graded. I'm trying to make a shelf with nothing but CGCs. So far, I've got one She-Hulk. I actually found another She-Hulk in there. Came really close to buying it, but maybe next time. Just a whole shelf full of She-Hulk CGC graded. What do you guys think? That would be pretty cool, right?
Oh, definitely. And a lot of their action figures and things boxed. Even they had a lot of the old stuff there. And in that old stuff that you just saw a minute ago, we ran across some A-Team figures from back in the 80s and 90s.
Right. And this was really cool, too. They had a section in the back full of dollar comics, and they had a bag, and you could fill up the bag for $10. So, really cool thing to do there. They were $1 a piece or fill up a bag for $10. Um, so, yeah, figure wise, they were pretty much covered. They had some really great Star Wars, some old wrestling figures. Um, I was really, Josh, he's drawn to the Masters of the Universe, but they had a great wall as well. This wall right here was more of your $200 and less keys. But there were some really great comics up there as well. All about getting those keys, finding some really cool comics to add to your collection. You can buy new ones all day long, but when you get something that means a lot to you and it represents your childhood or something you remember reading as a child, it's really cool too.
We found more boxes of sets here. We were going through those, and this, the stop of the day for me was this one. I went through these sets and got excited, and there were quite a few things that I may have to save up and go back and get. Like, I don't know if you saw a minute ago, but I picked up that Superboy set with like the first 12 issues of Superboy. I also got a set, I think that's it there I'm looking at, Superman The Dark Ages. It's a 3-issue Elseworld. But the real highlight of the day is I was going through there and I pulled up a set of Justice, the 12-issue miniseries by Alex Ross. And normally I wouldn't pay that much for a set of comics. They were $40. But when I pulled it out and looked at it, the very first issue was numbered and signed by Alex Ross. So I had to have that set.
Yeah, that was a really cool grab. And to get something signed by Alex Ross, just someone had gotten rid of that, which is crazy bizarre to me. But that would definitely be something that I would want to put up on my shelf. You saw us looking at some more of the... Todd McFarlane does like a masterful job on figures and things like that right now. We saw the Robin King there, and there I am with that She-Hulk CGC right there. That was only $30, but how many of those can you get? You don't want to keep getting them and getting them. And if you look right here, you can see they had a Spider-Man there as well, and Sean is still in there with us checking stuff out. So we had a really good day in there as well. And Memory Lane Comics too. If you go to one, you should go to the other one. Of course, we got to pose with Spidey because that's what we do. And check both of these shops out because, again, these people were really nice and very accommodating for us, letting us film. We're very thankful for that. And this was our third stop of the day. And stick with us and you'll see the next place we go here in just a minute.
Our fourth stop was a couple blocks down the street called Whatever Wilmington, and this was a unique shop.
Did you see that homeless guy? Oh, no, wait, that's our friend Sean hanging out in front of the shop. But this was a really cool shop, too, because not only was it comics, it was a little bit of everything. They had movie props. If you're familiar with the Wilmington area, there is a movie studio there. There's been some really great films filmed there. Actually, Iron Man 3 was filmed. But you see right there, One Tree Hill, that whole series was shot in Wilmington. Also, an older series called Dawson's Creek was filmed there as well. But there's a lot of props in there, which you'll see in this video. If you look right over there to the left there, you can see that is the bear from the Under the Dome TV series that got cut in half, which is kind of gross. Sorry, kiddos. Yeah. But that is the bear that got cut in half by the dome. And there's Robin Williams' statue from Night at the Museum as well.
Yeah, and on the bottom underneath the bear, if you were looking, you saw some props from the Swamp Thing series from DC Universe. It's on HBO Max now, but that was also filmed in Wilmington.
Right, there's a lot of movies and shows that have been filmed in Wilmington. Actually, I think just recently the film The Black Phone was actually filmed down in Wilmington as well. So nice little area to go in. Again, you can see this is like just a hodgepodge of everything in there, and you see us kind of going through the comics there. We found some really great older comics in there as well. They had quite a collection there, and they did a really good job of organizing them too. They were listed by DC or Marvel, or they were Western or horror, so they did a really good job. But this was a shop where the use of space was completely used up. As far as every nook and cranny had something shoved in it. And if you're a pop culture fan, it was perfect.
Okay, this is our next shop and our last stop of the day, Fanboy Comics. This is more of a typical comic shop. When you walk in, it has a little bit of everything from the comic world. It was very well organized. The owner was very nice. We came in and talked, and he took us for a tour around the shop, showed us how everything was organized. And set up, let us know, how things were and where everything was. I was appreciative of that because sometimes stuff can be hard to find in a shop when it's not well organized.
Right. They did a really good job of organizing things. There were a lot of back issues in there, but sometimes when you get back issues, it's hard to find exactly what you're looking for. This guy had them all laid out. I knew where the indie back issues were. I knew where the Marvel ones were. I knew where the DC ones were. It was very well organized. A lot of space in there, a lot of space that was used. I thought one of the coolest things when we first walked in the shop, he had a rail around the top of the shop, and all of his key comics and things like that were on that rail around the top of the shop. So it was really cool to see that.
Another interesting side note is when you looked above the shelves where the new books were, he kept the variant covers at the top of that shelf. So if you were looking for a specific variant at the very top of the shelves, they were there for you to go find.
Right, and if you see right there, you can see the railing up there with all the comics on it. And again, there's another spinner rack, and oh, how I desire to have a spinner rack for my display at home. One of these days, it's going to happen. Really great shop, a lot of stuff there. We really enjoyed walking around and digging through comics. You see me there digging through, and I believe Sean actually found something that he'd been looking for quite a while in there. So you never know what you're going to find. That's why you've got to keep going to these places and checking them out, because they have some really great finds there. A lot of back issues, a lot of new issues there. You see, we're looking at the new release wall there, and right above my head you can see a copy of The Death of Superman. So coming soon, we're going to get a 30th anniversary of that. I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be a great book. Leave us a note down in the comments if you're excited for that as well. Sean has found something he liked over in the all ages, because he's kind of slow. He needs to read the smaller books. But no, he's great, and we like to pick on everybody, and of course our camera woman is a Wonder Woman fan, so of course she found the Wonder Woman shelf there and recorded everything Wonder Woman there. They did have a lot though. The owners were super nice. Really enjoyed talking to them as well. This is a great shop as well to visit if you go down to Wilmington.
Yeah, and I was going to say the spinner racks had sets on them, and that's the trip I'm going to have to make back, because they had some really cool Superman sets that I want to go back and get on another day.
Yeah, absolutely. You can never have enough money when you go on these trips, because when you think you found everything you want, you always find something else that you want. So that's the beauty of collecting comics. Once you think you've read everything, you find something else to read. Really good shop. The layout was done very well. Everything was divided. There was no, excuse me, nothing crossing over like a DC and a Marvel spot or a Marvel and a DC spot. He had everything laid out well. Friendly. A lot of people in there talking to him, and they were, they love to talk about comics, because again, who doesn't love to talk about comics? I mean, if you're in a comic book shop and you don't like to talk about comics, then you're probably in the wrong place.
Yes.
So really, really great store. Another great place to check out as well. I thought it was very well laid out. I didn't find anything this time for me. Again, I was being very frugal this trip, but I did find stuff that I will be going back to get. Just got to make that trip back down there. It's nice to know that there are some shops that we can get to pretty easily and pretty quickly if you want to. And it's only maybe an hour and a half drive from here in New Bern. I don't know where you're located, but if you're in that Wilmington area, you should go check them out, because again, it's cool to go in comic shops, and if you've got kiddos, get them started early. And there's that book that Sean was looking for and actually got.
Yeah, he got Razzle, which is one he'd been looking for a while. Jeff Smith, the guy who did Bone. And then this is the last shop of the day. I hope you've enjoyed the trip with us, and we will see you at the shop.